Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today for the Wacom webinar series. Today we have Bryan Sanchez M from Colombia. He's joining us today to talk about a very important subject, very relevant to the time, tattooing in the time of social distancing, how the right attitude, digital ink, and teleconsulting can help your tattooing business alive. As we know, one of the main things tattoo artists have to do is meet face to face with their clients to really get a feel and to really get to know the concept behind the creation. Now, with the new social distancing rules across the globe, we're being challenged. And Bryan is here to tell us everything he's doing and share his tips on how you can continue to consult and how you can continue to keep your business alive. Throughout this series, you are going to be able to ask your questions using the Q&A. I am Elizabeth Garcia, and I manage the social media channels for Wacom. Remember that Wacom is the lead in digital pen technology, and we urge you to stop drawing with a mouse and try with a stylus. We love what we can do with technology, and we're always trying to add a more human feel to what we do. Let's go ahead and welcome Bryan today for this 1 hour long webinar. At the end of the webinar, we're gonna have a 10 to 20 minute Q&A depending on how many questions you have. Bryan does speak Spanish, so if you have questions for him in Spanish, Bryan will answer the questions in the language they were asked. We will save the questions for the end of the session so that Bryan can concentrate on his talk. Thank you very much for joining us and enjoy the show.
Hello.
Hi, Bryan, we hear you.
Hello, guys. Welcome to my webinar. I'm super excited and honored to be here today. And I hope to share with you a couple of ideas about my work and about what we're doing for the last couple of weeks and for the rest of the time, because we don't know when this is gonna end, but it's important to stay at home. So we're gonna have fun today. I hope you like the thing that I want to share with you. And I'm gonna show you a couple of my works, a couple of my processes, and at the end, we will have the chance to make some questions, and I will try to reply as much as I can. And welcome, and thank you very much for being here. So is my screen shared right now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna start right now. I'm gonna talk a little about me. My name is Bryan Sanchez M. I'm from Colombia. I'm a tattoo artist, and I'm also a fine artist and a muralist. But today I'm gonna put focus on how is my creative process with my tattoos and with the digital tools that I have on my hands. So I'm gonna with this stuff that I have for the last couple of weeks, because I haven't seen a lot of people feeling the pressure for being like, okay, I'm a creative person, so I have to be creative every day, because if not, I'm wasting my time. And for me, I have a little change of that idea.
Bryan, can you
I think it's like
screen, please?
Stop. Excuse me?
May you please share your screen on your phone as well?
Can I do what? Excuse me, I didn't hear you.
We can only see your phone. Can you share your screen on the mobile studio as well so that we can see what you're working on?
Okay. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Share screen. Boom. Here we are, right?
Great, that works. Perfect.
Okay. Okay, awesome. So I'm gonna, I was talking about how the people is taking creativity right now. I think there is a lot of people feeling the pressure of being creative in these times. Like every day you see a lot of challenges in Instagram. Okay, you have to create this, you have to create this, and I think it's good. It's also good to make a pause sometimes. So for me right now, it's like stop creating. It's another way to create, because with that you are refreshing your mind, you're refreshing your thoughts, you are looking what you want to do, what you're doing right now. So it's like, for me, the first couple of weeks of this isolation, I was just stop creating and see what is happening and see what's happening with the world. So and after that, and after when, I don't know when it's gonna end, but I think I will have a couple of different thoughts about how I see my work. So it's like, for me, stop creating is another way to create. Okay. And I'm gonna show you the process that I'm doing right now. Not right now, it's like since I'm started tattooing, because there is something that I have a really, really personal opinion on this, and it's that tattooing is not only about art, and it's not only about like, okay, I'm the best tattoo artist in the world, or I'm the best creative person in the world. It's also, and it's really, really important, customer service. Because right now there is a lot of people, we talk about tattoos and with technology, we talk about Wacom, and we talk about everything that we see every day. And for us, this is really natural. But there is a lot of people, I have a lot of clients, when they come to my shop and they see like, oh my God, that's magical. It's like a screen and you can draw on that and that. And yeah, so it's like, there is a lot of people who is outside our field. And we need to be patient, and we need to be like sort of clients, because they don't have the same idea that we have. So it's like, it's always share, and it's always be supportive with your clients, because I have a lot of clients because they want like the regular tattoos. As example, okay, I'm super cool and I love my family, so I'm gonna get like a family tattoo, right? And you will see it's pretty much the same: family, 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 family. So it's like, this is the first idea that you will have when you're creating something, and when you're talking about tattoo. Okay, family, love, so I'm gonna make a tattoo, it says family, right? But you can go deep, deeper, and you can talk with your client. Oh, I skipped one good point. I'm gonna show you how is my process since the beginning. So this is my Instagram. So that is how people can contact me. This is my email, and this is the Google I have. So I have this right now. I put something. It's in Spanish, and I'm talking about the coronavirus right now. So, but here is all the information about my tattoo process, my creative process, how I set the appointment, with the waiting time, anything. So you're gonna put everything here, and after that, we're gonna contact you. And I have something important here. As example, I put here, I don't do cover ups, and people think that it's because, oh, why are you so picky? And it's not because I'm picky. It's because, as example, my tattoos goes and play with the clear skin. I always make fades to the clear skin. So if I have a small tattoo in here, you're gonna see the tattoo. So it's not gonna be the new tattoo is not gonna be good enough, and we are not gonna cover the old one. So it's like we're trying to do something good, we're gonna do something worse. So that's why I not do cover-ups, but I always have the time to explain to my clients. And when people ask me for a cover-up, I would say like, I'm sorry, I don't do cover-ups, but I know this guy that is really good doing cover-ups, and I have these other two artists that can give you a really good ideas, and you can cover your tattoo, and you will be super happy with that, and not trying to do something that we're not gonna enjoy. So that's really, really important for me. All the time sharing this with people and clients on my seminar is like, it's not only about art, it's about customer service. And plus that, in my Google Forms, I would try to take all the information that I can have. The email, the idea, and all the thing. And after that, when people set the appointment, they send me an email with more information about their idea. So it's like, okay, I have a lot of, I will show you later that. So with that, I always give feedback to my clients about the idea that they want, like this is gonna work, this is not gonna work, what can we do? Like we can change the placement, and like which one is more painful, so what's the color of your skin? So I always ask my clients, send me like a couple of pictures of the placement they want to get the tattoo. With that, I can see if they have any scar, or if, how's the skin tone, how's the muscle, how's gonna be the shape of the body. And with all that information, I will know how my tattoo is gonna fit on there. So I'm gonna show you an example about how I'm gonna create all of this. This is another example about, this is the pictures that I request from my clients. So with all of this, even not being face-to-face, I can see like if there is any other tattoo in the same area. So if that happened, how I can play with that. So it's really, really good, because with that, and even I have a lot of good clients that are really, really good students, and they send me all of this. Like it's gonna be like this is the placement, this is the wrap, this is like other things, this is what I like about your work, this is how I imagine my piece. So all these things are gonna help you to create a better idea. So that's really, really important. I always ask to my clients, send me all the things that you want. It doesn't matter if it's a super long email, all that information is gonna help to create something really good for both of us. So I'm here, I have my notes, really, really cool. Trying to do the best teacher ever. Okay, as much info you can collect. So I was talking about like having a good ideas is really important to support your client, explain your client. That is something that I always say, that it's like, it's not it's always right. I'm not really agree with that. I think it's like the client doesn't have an idea, but they don't have to be the perfect idea, because that's our job, creating some cool ideas for them, because they have a small area of knowledge and a small area of creativity thinking about tattooing, but we are doing that every day, and we need to create something different every day, and we need to do our best for each client, because we have a lot of people who's like, I have a lot of clients who's like, they are getting their first tattoo, say like, okay, this is gonna be my first tattoo, I don't have any idea how is this gonna be, so I have to be patient, I have to explain everything, show everything, and make the people feel comfortable, because at the end, they are giving you their body, and that's really important, so you have to honor that. So that's something really important for me, to trying to giving all my clients the best because they are giving me their skin, their body. So it's like eternity. So I was talking about the info that you can collect. As much info you collect, more creative ideas you will have. And I will show an example about like how you can go with something deeper and something better than a simple idea. The other day, I have these ideas like, okay, when we think about travel, okay, I wanna get a tattoo because I travel a lot and I love to travel. I love all the places that I've visited. So I wanna get something about traveling. Okay, so you can go to the first Google page and you will see pretty much the same. Map, like the compass. So it's like always the same. But I will show you an example. I had a couple of clients a couple of months ago, and they were traveling from South America. They are from France, and they were traveling from South America. They started in Uruguay, and they were traveling through all the continent until Canada. So they sent me an email, and they told me like, hey, we're traveling, we want to collect one of your pieces to remember this moment of our life. So what are you gonna get for us? So I was talking with her, I was talking about tattoos and traveling, and this is my traveling idea. This is a bird that is a really common bird in Colombia. It's a really beautiful bird, but for her, this was the first time she see a bird like this, and she loved it. For me, that was a good way to remember that you're traveling, remember the places that you're visiting, but in a different way, not just with a map. So, and this is a unique piece, and it's like something more interesting for me to do than doing a map. So it's like something that I think is really interesting, and they were super happy having a piece of art, a really cool tattoo, and not just a regular map tattoo that people can have normally. This was another example that I was trying to show you about family. You can have like, okay, family tattoo, just the word, or go deeper and do something about like, okay, my family is from this small town, like these birds are really cool. And when I see these birds, I remember. So this is a good way to represent their family, her family, the family of my client, and not just put in like the word family. So I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna start my process. I will show you the software that I use, and you can prepare your questions, and at the end I will reply all the questions, okay? So I have this client wants to get, send me the picture here, yeah. He wants to get a chimpanzee. Chimpanzees, how I say, it's really hard in English sometimes for me. And I was looking for a couple of ideas. Oh, another important thing I always put focus is like avoid Google, because Google is the first layer where people go to ask for something and look for something. As example, like you have chimpanzee. Okay, the first thing you put is chimpanzee. You can see this one. So you can see this one. And if you go to chimpanzee tattoo, you can find that many times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can find as much. Oh my God, this is one of my tattoos copied. I didn't see that. Huh, funny. Okay, surprise for me. So, okay, that's what I'm trying to avoid all the time. People is like looking at the same 4 or 5 ideas, and they are replaying and copy that, and they are keeping the same range of 2 or 3 ideas of tattoos. So the first thing is like, go deeper, change, and create something special for every client, for each client that you have. So this client sent me the email after the reply, after I put all the things, he put me, I'm gonna show you. This is on my calendar. So I put the single information. Okay, he want a chimpanzee on his arm, on his shoulder. So I prepare a couple of ideas for him. I saved these 2 ideas before. I guess I saved these couple of examples. So as example, this one. And I took this picture from Flickr. That is a really bank of images because it's like a professional photographers taking pictures, not just the regular pictures that you will find on Google. So for me, like the perspective on the Flickr photographies are really good. So like I have these 2 examples, and I will work with this one, and I will show you my process. So I use a lot 3 programs. I use Photoshop, I use Clip Studio, and I use Rebel. I use those 3 all my things for all my watercolor tattoos, my paintings, and my murals. So, but today I'm gonna show you the process with this one. I will try to do it fast, but showing you a couple of things. Okay, this is the Rebel interface. Nothing here. And we're gonna start with this. I save the picture. I always try, something important when you're tattooing, I'm gonna show you this, is like, which one is the right direction of your tattoos? Which one is the right direction? Because there is a lot of times that you can see people is doing like tattoos make it weird because they are looking at the wrong direction. So as example, I'm gonna show you this. This one, yeah. So the idea when you're doing a tattoo is like, make it look at the right direction. So as example with this one, and thinking where the tattoo is gonna be and which placement is the right placement for each tattoo. So as example, when I'm tattooing, is like, I'm gonna look at this. That is like 3. So it's like, as example, on the arm, I have like 3 space for 3 big tattoos. So one is there, the bicep is the other one, and the forearm is the other one. And here, the tricep is the other one. So in that part, you can have, I'm gonna do it in like a small brush. Okay, yeah, here we have one, bicep is the other one, tricep is the other one, and forearm is the other one. So when you're thinking in something, the first thing is like, okay, where is it gonna be? How the tattoo is gonna look? Where's the right direction? So it's like everything, every time when you're doing something, it's like the tattoo has to look like the right direction is that. So it's like, it's an animal here, has to look to this way. This one is this way. And as example, on the tricep, it's gonna be like going from the back to the outside. And exactly the same with the forearm. I'm gonna show you the forearm here. So to make the right direction, something on your forearm to be like something here. So it has to look like this way to the outside. So when you're being like straight, like as example in this one, you're gonna be an animal, has to be looking like this way. That's the right direction of your tattoos. And when it's something from here, it has to be like from inside to outside. That's the right way to place the tattoo. The other thing is like, I always try to make my tattoos flow with the natural shape of the body. For example, we can see the muscles, and you can see like this one can go like this way to the chest. And if it's on the chest, I will open one with the chest. So when you're doing something on the chest, it's like I always trying to do something like it's gonna be like one side, so it's gonna look to this direction. That is like the right thing. It's like if something that can match with something in the future that can go see and they can match each other. The same thing here on the shoulder that you can put like from the back to the front. Here, this is what we're talking about, from inside to outside. And this part is like the outside is here. Like normally if we're doing something on the leg, that I love to do legs. My favorite places are forearms and legs. Legs is because they're really tender placement. Forearms are really non-painful place and it's really easy to show. The leg give you like enough space for doing like something big, like a big and everything like that. So it's like, these are my favorite places. Okay, so this is the right way you can do the tattoo. And okay, we're gonna continue with the design. I'm gonna do this. So as example, the right direction of this, even if the chimpanzee is in the backward position, is looking at the front. So it must be something like this. I'm gonna show you really quick. Damn, sorry. Yeah. So this is the right direction on this. As I told you, even if he looks like his body is backward, his eyes are looking at the front. So this is the right direction. You can see the difference. You can see like if we put it like this way, it looks weird. It looks like looking at the back, right? So that's the difference. Okay, I'm gonna show you the couple of things I do. The first thing I do is like trying to imitate the skin tone because paper is different to skin. You will see the difference. And we do a lot of tattoos and we design a lot of things over a white background, but the skin is really, really a different tone. So this is more like a visual thing. I always trying to put like, trying to change, and you see how the image now looks a little darker than before. You can see the difference. Even if nothing happened with the actual picture, You see like a difference, right? So I'm gonna show you how is my creative process with this thing. I use Photoshop, 3D Studio, and Rebel. I will show you how. The first thing I do is replicate the layer, because with that, even if something happened and I make a mistake on here and I don't have enough Control C or something, I just have this one that is gonna be my backup image, right? And with this one, I turn off that layer, and then with this one, I'm gonna start making a mask and choosing what is gonna be the main part that I'm gonna take for my tattoos. Another thing that I do on my tattoos is like, I always try to put focus on one thing, one main thing, and not doing collage of many things, because I always think like the tattoo is gonna age, and my idea is keep it as readable as we can. So if I have like the chimpanzee big enough, even after 5 or 10 years, when the skin age, you still will be able to read the tattoo, right? But if in the other hand, if we, as example, I'm gonna do it. We have this chimpanzee, but we're gonna put a lot of things. We're gonna put the jungle and everything. So with that, we're gonna put like a lot of leaves and everything, the jungle here. You see, the main image is small, and all these small details in the future, we're gonna lose all of these. So that's why I always try to keep as big as it can. So okay, I'm gonna show you how I create my things. So with this one, oh sorry, where is my, here? Come on, I'm gonna start over. And okay, this is how I'm doing. This is a rough. Okay. In fact, I'm gonna add this part, because maybe in the future we can add something, or we can see if like we can use the hand for something on the design, just in case, right? Okay, cool. Okay, so now we have the main part. Yeah, I think I like the hand. I duplicate the layer, and something that I do on Photoshop, I use filters, filter gallery. Happening? Okay, yeah. And I use the artistic filters. And I use this one, cut out, that gives me more contrast, like how the tattoo, like with this filter, I can separate the tattoos by blocks of colors. So that's gonna help me to deconstruct, to destroy my sketch. So, but this is a different layer. Now you see like it looks like little flat in some points, and I save it like that, right? A preview studio. Okay, so I change the opacity. Ah, okay. This I do this on the original because with this one I want to keep some details, some important details that I'm gonna trace on my tattoo. I'm gonna do the outline on my tattoo, and I use this layer that I showed you before for my color, or the color of my tattoo. Okay, so I create a new layer, and I use the pen, and I start from the center to outside, right? Because I want to keep like, normally like the first thing I do is like trying to trace the main parts. So in this case, it will be like the eyes, obviously, the nose, the shape of the mouth, and the ears. And after that, I'm gonna do the top of the head, more like a sketchy thing, and trace a couple of lines just to show how the body is, but not putting a lot of focus on like, okay, this is a lot of hairs in this, a lot of hair in this. So it's like just, this is like, okay, this is a part of the head. I'm gonna show a bigger layer, like this is the shape, another main shape, like the ears, like this part is important, and the shape of the mouth. Right, so this is like the main parts I will try to keep. And okay, got it. I'm gonna create a new layer to show you. I have to have enough time to show you all the process of this. I will do fast. So it's like, I play with the eyes. So it's like playing with pressure. I do something, and when I change this to the tattoo process, I will use a bigger needle for this, and I'm gonna keep like small needles for this. So it's like, you can see like it's a really sketch, but you can see that you can see an eye there, right? So like this example here, like the parts that are more important to make the depth of the image, like thicker lines for me, right? So it's like with this one, so it's like a couple of these. I will try to do it fast because I want to finish to show you the final process of this. So it's like, I hope we have enough time. So I use these free software. I love Clip Studio because it makes me feel really comfortable when I'm doing outline, and when I'm tattooing, I can really, it's really the same, pretty much the same way how my tattoos looks when about how my tattoos, my draws. So remember, with this, I'm trying to keep like the main part of this, because I have the other layer with the colors that are gonna complete the whole image, right? The other thing about my style is like, it's not something like, okay, I'm gonna do crazy sketches because it's cool, it's trendy. At the end, it's because I'm an anxious person. I'm really anxious, and that's why I'm tattooing. That's the way I paint. When I'm painting, I use acrylics because I don't have the patience to. So I start using acrylics, and I didn't have the time to wait. So I put the new layer over with the wet layer before, and that's how I create my style. So it's not something accidental. It's something like it happens. So in the, and we can see in the whole image, in the flat colors image, you can see like this is the light area and this is a shadow area. Yeah, we don't gonna have time to do the hand, so I'm just gonna. And first, like far we have enough. Okay, the little details in here, we're gonna do the guys. I will have enough space to do it, but for the first layer, and I do like trying to make this one being super close to the image. This is another thing that I do is like building the block of color. Are we here?
Brian, I don't think we can hear you.
Let me check.
We hear you a little far away.
Hello.
We hear you a little bit far away.
Okay, let me.
There, I think we hear you better now.
Let me see if it's okay. Are you having fun? And now I just keeping like the dark areas separate from the light areas. So my idea, the idea of my tattoos is like destroy the tattoo, but make it readable, still readable. It's like, I have a thought that is like replicate or inspire on the Impressionism. When photography came out, before that, all the painters trying to be realistic. But now with photography, there's no way that we can be that realistic. So the Impressionism says like, we can imitate reality like this. So the thing we're gonna do is like imitate reality or create or new reality. So that's the idea of my tattoos. You can see that it's like pretty much something is not really a realistic chimpanzee, but you can read that it's a chimpanzee at the end, right? So with that, okay, I have the main lines of this, and I create a new layer that I'm gonna start destroying the picture, and I'm gonna add more lines and more like sketchy things, more like dark areas that are gonna help me to make more contrast to my final tattoo, my final design, because the most important thing for me about tattooing is like contrast, because as I told you before, tattoo is gonna age and we need to make the tattoo still readable in 5 or 10 years, right? So with this one is like, and without playing with the skin tone canvas, it helps me a little to think how dark is gonna be the tattoo when the tattoo heals. Got it, okay. And I add a new layer and I use these textures. This one. And this is gonna be like the dot work that I'm gonna do on my tattoo. And with that, I'm gonna add more dark shadows with textures. I'm gonna add all that on my tattoo with my single needle or 3-liner needle. And we can add more details and more lines. It depends of like the time we have and the time we're gonna create. But as I told you, I'm doing like something fast to show you like the main part of my process. So I use the textures for like the dart. And a little part here. Okay, got it. So this is really fast. So here I can see like, I need more contrast to see them out. So we're gonna put in here. And there is more texture here in the eyes.
Bryan, what Wacom tool are you working on? And what is
I'm
your next?
using the Mobile Studio Pro. That is like, is the love of my life after my wife and my baby, obviously. But it's really, really helpful for me because I travel a lot and I study Photoshop, and when I was studying advertising, so I'm really comfortable using Photoshop and digital tools. So this helped me a lot when I'm traveling because I don't have to have like an extra tablet and connect it to my when doing something. No, right now I have like everything is here. This is not just a tablet. It's like the whole computer is here. So I have everything here. I can draw, I can edit videos with Premiere, I have everything. So it's my favorite, and I travel a lot with this. So, okay, so I have the textures, I made like a couple of details, and now I go back to Photoshop. Just automate it. So this is the sketch. I not put details on the hand because we don't have time, but I'm gonna show you the difference with this part. I'm gonna put in the layer on the back. Now we have the lines, the sketchy lines, and you can see that we respect the part of the lights in here, the lights in here. In these areas, we have light in here, light in here. And with this, I can go to Rebel now. And open the file. So for my line work, trying to imitate my tattoos, Table Studio is really, really, really cool. The gesture of the pens are really nice. And Rebel is gonna load all my layers. And with that, I'm gonna add a couple of details of the colors. Destroy the original colors of the picture. And I mix it with my color palette. I have my own color palette that is from my ink set from Eternal Ink. So I'm gonna show you really quick. Mix it. Yeah, here. So with Eternal Ink, I have an ink set, and this is my color palette. This is the color that we have on the ink set. These are tattoo ink colors. So I translate all my colors here. You can see on the right of the screen. So I copy all these colors. And I use these colors that are gonna help me to make my colors when I'm already tattooing. And I'm gonna use this, and so this is the layer that I showed you before. And with the tools from Rebel, I start change it and erase a couple of details. Like example here, I'm gonna turn out this, yeah. It's happening. Oh yeah, it's erasing, it's like, and how I start deleting parts of the original picture, and I'm gonna mix it with layers, and I'm gonna change a couple of things. Yeah, maybe the file is heavy right now. And with the, yeah. Maybe because I have a lot of things open for the seminar, yeah, okay. And so I use the pick color to pick something. This is the first time that happened to me here. And I use the original color of the image, and I extend it. Okay, maybe it's because I have opened a lot of things here on Photoshop. Sorry. Yeah, it's working better. So with that, it's like I trying to, because in my tattoo, I don't want to have this part, this really hard edge. I want to make like something that I'm gonna do with my tattoo needles, with my color ink. So it's like, I try to make some of that. And I change all of that. I add more details here. I pick the color here. Or use the color that I have on my ink set. And I start adding some light colors on here. Yeah, you can see. I change the colors and all these things that I'm using with the colors. So this is my snowflakes ink set. So I put it on my tattoo, and it's gonna change like all the light points of that. Yeah, maybe the file is too heavy. I didn't check it how heavy I did it. And this is pretty much how the tattoo is gonna be. I'm gonna open the design again to put it on the placement and see how it's gonna be. And this is pretty much my creative process for doing a tattoo, to prepare a tattoo with my digital tools. As I told you, this is a fast process, but the idea is that you can see how it works from the beginning to the end. And after the Rebel thing, I have all the fades here, all the areas that are gonna fade. And this is how the tattoo is gonna look on the placement. Yeah, the placement must be like this. In fact, because it's little tilt. So just to complete right, okay? Also this. Come on. Yeah, with that is like how I have like all the things, like as I told you, like with the Rebel, I can do like all the fades here with my inset, and like as example, this part that you can see here. Normally, I always try to keep like a negative spaces because white is a really hard color because skin is different in each person. So I always try to avoid white, and instead of that, I use negative spaces. Like in this case, like as example, you see like this part with white, I keep it like a negative spaces. So in the tattoo, I'm gonna add some white colors here, but it's gonna fade to the negative space. So that also helps to keep the tattoo readable when the colors fade, because eventually all tattoos are gonna age, and that's the thing. So this is pretty much like the line work that I put on that, and that's the final tattoo is gonna be. Okay, I think that's the complete process. I think we have time to do some questions because we
Yes, Brian.
have
I was
limited
just
time now.
Thank you, Brian. We're going to now read some questions, and thank you so much for showing us your process. We are now at 1 hour. We're going to spend a few minutes answering some questions.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much.
So Peyton Morris wants to know, he says that you have a beautiful style. How did you develop it?
As I say before, it's more like being part of, like, know yourself. I realized that I'm an anxious person, and that's why I started doing. Like, I was trying to destroy my tattoos because I didn't have the patience to, like, okay, I have to do this, like in the monkey and this chimpanzee. I didn't have. Let me show you really quick. I didn't have the patience to do, like, okay, I'm gonna do this line and replicate this line. No, I don't have, I don't want it. So I just did this, create like 2 lines to make like the mouth, the nose, and the I don't know how we say this part. Yeah, the mouth area. So it's like exploring, knowing yourself, not trying to imitate what people is doing, but trying to figure out how is your creative process. So this is how I develop like this kind of signature. It's more like part of my nature, and it's pretty much like that. It's like find yourself, how's your creative process, and you will develop your own style.
Thank you, Brian. Is there a reason for you to work on different apps and not just Photoshop instead? Andres Jaramillo wants to know.
And the thing is, like, I always open to explore new things, and think like each program or each software can give you better things and some points. As example, Photoshop is a software designed for photographies. So it's like you can take more advantage of that using Photoshop. Clip Studio is a software designed for drawing, so we can take more advantage of that. Rebel is a software designed for imitate natural painting. So it's like trying to take the best thing of each and trying not to be like super close to, okay, I only use this and this, because that's gonna make you lose details and lose things that other software can give you.
Great. Sarah Jean Chong says she loves your process. Do you ever improvise during the tattooing process and change your design entirely?
Excuse me?
Sarah Jean wants to know if you ever improvise during the tattooing process and change your design entirely.
Oh yeah, a lot, because that's also part of the creative process. I don't try to like when I'm doing the tattoo, I'm not doing like, okay, I have this little line in here, so I need to replicate this line exactly. No, I know that here I have a dark area and here I have a light area. So like, these are like the part close to the eye. So I know the main thing about that, but I'm not trying to be attached to the stencil and be attached to the lines. I always trying to have freedom. And I always advise my clients, the first thing that you see here on the screen is gonna change to the final design. So don't worry about that. It's like, we will see what's gonna happen. And that's a special thing, because if you advise your client and you invite your client to be part of that process, they're gonna enjoy it. They're not gonna be like, oh my God, why did you put a line like that? The stencil has the line like that. It's like, if you share with your client the idea and the project, you both are gonna have fun. So it's gonna be better for both of you. Both of you, yeah, both of you.
There's an interesting question here from the audience. How do you think actual tattooing will change after this social distancing has ended? Adam Ruyot, will we and our customers be wearing masks from here out? He's wondering.
I think a lot of things. Yeah, I think the word that we know is already gone. So I think, yeah, probably we will have to use masks for at least, I think, 1 or 2 years. That's my guess. And I think this thing has changed our minds, but I think we need to take advantage of that also. As I say at the beginning, it's like, we were super rushed about everything. Okay, we have to create, we have to do this, we have to do that. And after this, we are on a pause. So it's like trying to see, like, right now for me, it's been really good. Like, all these weeks I've been watching like kids cartoon with my baby. And I learned from that how simple they put the images and make it fun for my baby and make it understandable for my baby. And so that's something that I'm gonna take and put on my tattoos, like make it as much simple and make more understandable. So it's like, we're gonna change and we will try to change and we will see what's gonna happen. But right now, the thing is like, make a pause and breathe. And I think.
Thank you, Brian. A question from Andres Zuniga. Hi, Brian, great class. Do you use your stencils by hand or do you use a printer?
I use a printer. I'm really fan of the tools that make my work easy, and all the things that can help me to save time doing extra process is time that I can invest in. So right now with this one, I have my printer and I don't have to waste 1 extra hour redrawing all this on a regular stencil paper. So with this, I'm gonna print that. Let me put it on here. I'm gonna plus, and I have my stencil, boom. So this is gonna save me at least 1 extra hour of working. So yeah, I'm really agree with the tool that can help you to improve your work.
Okay, Brian. Vicente Rukov, he also uses the Mobile Studio Pro and Photoshop. He wants to know what is the best brush setting for calligraphy writing. He's having trouble finding the setting in Photoshop.
Right now, that's a really hard question for me because I don't use the Photoshop brushes that much. I use the Photoshop, the Clip Studio brushes, the pen brushes here, you can see. And I'm working on my own brushes from Tattoo Smart. So keep in touch with that and you will see like the brushes that we're creating for doing like the sketchy watercolor style. But it's really hard question. It's like, I will try to figure it out and you can send me an email and I will try to give you a better answer after research a little on the Photoshop brushes.
Thank you, Brian. one last question before we go, because we already went over 1 hour and we are very thankful for your time. From Steve Barrientes, when clients see your process, they think it's so easy to make changes. How do you keep your clients from changing their mind too much?
That's something really interesting, and that's something really good that we can learn here. Is like having communication with your client and be patient with your client. As I told you, as I say at the beginning, is like I do this every day, and so for me it's like really easy to change from one software to another. But I have a lot of clients that they don't have anything to do with art. So it's like communicate everything that you want to do and the changes that you want to do. So with that, your client is going to be open to the changes. It's not like, okay, I'm going to do the monkey. And so it's like you have a communication and back and forth email saying like, okay, we're going to do a gorilla, we're going to do a gorilla, we're going to do a chimpanzee. And at the end, when he came, you have like, no, I'm going to do a bird. So that's going to be shocking for the client. The first thing he's going to say is like, no, we talk about doing a chimpanzee or a gorilla, not a bird. So, but if in that process of communication, you say like, maybe I think with the idea that you have in mind, we can think something more birds or something different. And like with that, your client will be prepared to the things or the change that you might do. So it's like, for me, it's always, as I say in the beginning, is like support your client and communication and customer service. I have a lot of clients who want to make a lot of changes at the end and like, okay, don't worry, you're gonna have this for the rest of your life. I don't have any problem to do as many changes as you want, because the most important thing is like have that person happy, because they're gonna have your art for the rest of their life, and you have to respect that and you have to honor that, and it's really important. And a happy client is gonna bring another happy client, and that's how you work, and that's how you can build your business.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Bryan. We have a few other questions that we will send you to your email so that you can answer them, and we'll publish them in a blog later because there's some nice questions. Thank you to everyone who joined us. And thank you, Bryan. Continue to have a nice day and take care, everybody.
Guys, this was an amazing time. I really enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed as much as I do. And this is my Instagram. You can follow me. You can send me emails. Is better because sometimes I have a direct message that I think never check that. So send me as much emails as you want. I have my YouTube channel that is here. And you can see reviews on tattoo supplies and tattoo things, and we keep in touch. Anything you want, anything you need, please let me know. I'm honored to be part of Wacom. I'm super happy to doing this thing. And remember, tomorrow is my birthday, guys, so send your presents.
Oh my God, happy birthday. Happy early birthday, Bryan. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, all the people who attend this, and I love you. I love everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.